All right, guys. Today in our unit study, we're switching from things that more tend towards science to things that are more social studies. Now, science and social studies, they kind of interlap and weave together sometimes. It's not like there's a clear, this is just science and this is just social studies. But in general, science means studying things about the world and how it works or other living things. Social studies is usually talking about people, how people interact with each other, what people have done with each other in the past, how it works, the way that I talk to you or you talk to me, or we make decisions together, or you get something that I want, or I want something that you can get for me. So these sorts of things, when we talk about social studies, we're talking kind of about science, but specifically about people with our thinking. So if we're talking about just people's bodies, like, oh, I have eyes that see and ears that hear, that still usually falls more in the category of science. But if we're talking about how I work with you, that tends to be more social studies. So in your unit study book now, the front part of this has been science. We're going to use the back part for social studies. So when we're doing our social studies things now, we're going to start here from the last page and work forward one page at a time. So what we're going to start talking about today is needs and wants. Now that's not very tricky, right? There are things that you know you need. You need water, you need food, you need somewhere safe to sleep. And oh my goodness, did you start noticing as we talk about what you need? We're mentioning the same sorts of things as we talked about yesterday with our habitat video. So when, again, science and social studies, it kind of mixes together a little bit. And when we talk about what we need, when we talk about habitats, they get really close. You're going to see a video in a little bit that talks about things you need and things you want. And I hope you notice in there that some of the things they mention about needs really are the same things we talk about with habitats. Now, it's going to talk about more than just that because it's talking about things you need and also things you want. And there are lots of things to want, aren't there? And do you know what? There are people who literally get paid millions of dollars to help make sure we want lots of stuff, to help make sure we want, oh, just the right car or the right clothes or food, right? They get paid lots of money to help us want to buy their stuff. So we're going to be thinking carefully about things we need versus things we want. Here's the video.
Hey, Moby, what are you doing? What are you saving money for? A pony? You don't need a pony, Moby. What needs do people have? A need is something people must have to live. People need air to breathe and food to eat in order to survive. We also need water and shelter or a safe place to live. And we need clothes. People can have different needs. Right, Moby. Communities help people meet their needs. Communities provide water and electricity and have hospitals and homeless shelters to help people meet their needs. You don't really need that to live, Moby. What do people want?
A want is something people would like to have.
What do you want to have, Moby? You may want those things, but you don't need them to survive. You could definitely live without a pet monkey, Moby. Sometimes people want more than what they need. I see commercials, ads, and catalogs for cool stuff that I really want, but I know I don't need. Besides, My allowance won't cover everything I want. How do people get what they want or need? Many people have jobs and work to earn money. Then they use the money to buy goods and services. Goods are things that people sell or buy. Shoes, bikes, computers, and groceries are all kinds of goods. A service is work that someone does for someone else. Some people offer services to fix things, or drive people places, or help people stay healthy. Producers are people who sell goods and services. Consumers are people who pay for goods and services. Sometimes people want more than what they can have, so they have to make choices. Well, I really want some ice cream. Chocolate peanut butter crunch. But I'm saving up to buy Grandpa a birthday present. I want ice cream, but I should save my money. People have to figure out what they can afford and what they need or want. Moby, maybe you should forget about the pony and save up to buy Grandpa a birthday present too. What should you get him? A pony.
All right, guys, you notice some of those habitat things in there? I thought that was pretty cool. How, again, social studies and science, they're not completely separate. They do there's some spots where they connect and maybe even hook together a little bit. So needs versus wants. This shouldn't be too tricky. We're going to be putting something here into your unit study book at the end this time, because we are going to be talking about the social studies end of things a little bit more. So go ahead, grab your pencil box. Really, you only need your pencil, but it's all you're probably going to be making pictures. It's much better when you have pictures to add some color to it. So grab your pencil box with some crayons and your unit study journal, and we're going to put something in there. All right, so here we are. Here's the front. I'm not going to start at the front. I'm going to go all the way here to the back and start on this very first page of the back. All right, girls, a definition is when we say what a word means. Right now, I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to trust that you guys are pretty smart and probably knew already. If you didn't know already, you certainly know after the video. Needs and wants. That you have a pretty good idea what those words mean. So, boys and girls, first graders, you can notice right here, here is EE saying E, that vowel team. And kindergartners, you know that A is supposed to say ah, but look in this word want. It's saying w, ah, ah, ah. It's making a short O sound. A does that a lot. So boys and girls, you're going to write needs on one side, wants on the other. You might have already finished that. Then go ahead and get a pencil or a crayon and draw a line down the middle of the page. On the needs side, I want you to write some of the things you need. On the want side, write some of the things that you want. So think about those 4 things with habitat when you think about your needs. That can help you to come up with that. So boys and girls, I want you to have at least 3 on each side. 3 needs and 3 wants. 3 here showing me things that you really truly need. You need them so that you can keep living. And then things that you want, things you would enjoy, things that are really nice to have, but not things you absolutely need to be able to keep living. All right, boys and girls, just like science and social studies are not completely separate and they do kind of connect a little bit, needs and wants, they're not completely separate categories, right? There are some things that maybe we can survive. We're not going to die without them, but really we're a lot more comfortable with them, or long term, they're going to help us live. Like, for example, you're not going to die today if you don't eat fruits and vegetables. But if you never eat any fruits and vegetables, you might die eventually or get some kind of sickness that ends up killing you. So just like science and social studies have places where they kind of come together, needs and wants do also. It's not like everything is really clearly a need or really clearly a want. The other thing, that video talked some about communities. Now, we're not going to be mentioning much with communities right now, but I want you to keep your ear open for if people talk about communities sometime. We don't have a great, fabulous video that's all set up, ready to go, explaining what a community is. We've talked about it a little bit already. We're going to be talking about it more later, but I want you to keep your ear open for the word community so that you start to file some ideas in your mind of things that happen with communities and how communities work.